Hello, my name is Nikki Patton, and today I will be talking to you about warrior skills. For my program development presentation, I had the opportunity to interview Sydney Hirsch from Midland University about warrior skills. Midland University is a small school in Fremont, Nebraska, and Sydney Hirsch is the Director of Student Development. She was hired specifically to run the Warrior Skills program. Warrior Skills is a life skills program that stands on 4 pillars: personal enhancement, leadership, social responsibility, and career development. The program focuses on building important life skills for students after they graduate from college, and they serve the entire student population. Each of the 4 pillars is focused for a specific year of students. Personal enhancement is the pillar that freshmen focus on. Some of the workshops that they encounter are goal setting, overcoming resistance to change, time management, creating your personal brand, developing a growth mindset, personal identity and values, handling stress in a healthy way, decision-making and problem-solving, developing empathy and emotional intelligence, cultivating good habits and powering through distractions, how to communicate effectively, moving off campus, budget planning, and John Wooden's Pyramid of Success. Sophomores get to focus on leadership. They encounter workshops such as developing empathy and emotional intelligence, cultivating good habits and powering through distractions, how to communicate effectively, team building, and how to be an effective leader. Juniors focus on social responsibility. Their workshops include decision-making and problem-solving, developing empathy and emotional intelligence, how to communicate effectively, moving off campus, budget planning, bystander intervention, Warrior Summit on equity and inclusion, and team building. Finally, seniors focus on career development. Their workshops include transitioning out of collegiate sport, how to create a resume or cover letter, how to build your LinkedIn, what to know when applying for graduate school, and finding your purpose. Dr. Lawrence Chatters is the Vice President for Student Affairs at Midland University. He had the opportunity to be involved in the University of Nebraska-Lincoln's Life Skills program. Many Division I athletics programs have a life skills program. Dr. Chatters also was a part of the Penn State Life Skills program and has had the opportunity to view a few others. What Dr. Chatters noticed was that learning outside of the classroom and really making sure that students are ready for whatever life brings their way is important. He determined that he wanted to bring that to Midland so that students were prepared after they left Midland. This is particularly important today when college graduates, such as myself, do not necessarily go into a field that they have studied. In addition, with the correct life skills, you're better suited for facing a disaster in which it's hard to jump right into a job, or for example, when you get laid off because of COVID. Dr. Chatters wanted to build something like the Division I athletics program's life skills, and so he brought it to Midland the summer of 2019. During its first year, Warrior Skills served mostly athletes. Sydney would reach out to different coaches and ask them what workshops they would like to do for their athletes, so it was coach-directed. In addition, with this format, it was not specified by grade. This year and going into the future, Sydney intends to keep the specific tracks for specific grades. She's also working on creating hybrid workshops for our given COVID scenario, and workshops on demand that coaches, faculty, and other campus leaders can access. Finally, they hope to serve more students. The goal of Warrior Skills at Midland is to give students the opportunity to have all skills necessary to be successful when they leave Midland. Sydney has been assessing her progress while working with Warrior Skills. She has done this mostly in one of 2 ways. First of all, she has measured attendance. For example, 816 students participated in at least one workshop in 2019 to 2020. Finally, she also measures her success and progress by analyzing surveys that she has handed out to students after the workshops. In the past, these surveys have mostly measured students' thoughts. They've included questions such as, was this workshop beneficial? What did you like or dislike? What would you like to see in the future? This year, and going into the next couple years of Warrior Skills, Sydney would like to expand her assessment to include measuring students' actual learning. She will do this by including a pre-survey at the beginning of the academic year and a post-survey at the end of the year. This will allow her to measure growth of students as well as the effectiveness of her workshops. With this, she will be able to determine whether sophomores, for example, truly grow in their ability to lead. One example of Sydney using assessment to make a change for the better is when she received feedback from students that visual learners had a hard time at her workshops because they were often information heavy but didn't have many visuals. Because of this, Sydney now includes either a PowerPoint or another form of visual so that visual learners can retain all the information. As discussed before, this is the list of workshops available currently through Warrior Skills. The students at Midland definitely had a favorite workshop last year. Their favorite was the Warrior Summit on Equity and Inclusion. This summit happened in February of 2020. It was a big event put on to discuss the topic of equity and inclusion, both locally as well as at the national level. The Midland Choir sang, and they brought in 2 speakers who had the opportunity to talk about inclusion and equity in their personal lives. They then broke out into discussion groups where they talked about how they have seen diversity on campus, around Fremont. This was amazing for students because not only were the groups made up of students, but they also include faculty and staff and local community members. They finished out the night with a dance team performance. Finally, some changes that Sydney is making to the Warrior Skills program based on assessment include that she'll be adding community service for juniors as part of their social responsibility program. As discussed earlier, she's offering online and hybrid workshops as well as workshops on demand. And finally, the Anderson Leader program, which has been a part of Midland Student Affairs for a while, will now become a part of Warrior Skills. Sydney will be including it particularly in the leadership pillar that the sophomores focus on. Warrior Skills is an amazing program put on by Sydney Hirsch, the Director of Student Development at Midland University in Fremont, Nebraska. It is an opportunity for students to build important life skills that will carry them on after college. With continued assessment, Sydney will be able to continue to determine what needs are being met by the students and what needs she needs to focus on more. She will be able to grow the program to meet more students and to provide more workshops.